Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of DayZ with Aqua. And we are picking up right where we left off in episode 3. This is of course the continuation of my 3.5 hour long gaming session with Wizturd, who you can find in the description below. And we are starting things off quite quickly in this episode. Right at the beginning we are entering Electro and picking up a mass of zombies. Now, this is me talking in post-recording, as I have done in the last video. So, yeah, I'm just going to be narrating what happened because I don't feel like the voices I recorded in the episode were actually entertaining enough, so I'll be doing it this way. And this is actually going to be the last episode of this gaming session, so after this, I'm really looking forward to playing on my own and doing some live recording. I'll probably just fire up Arma 2 sometime soon, well, DayZ, and just play and record a long session with my voice over it, and then just cut together the good parts, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So that will definitely be what episode 5 is going to be. And at this point, all I knew was that Wizturd had been telling me that pretty much everyone on the server was in Electro. I knew everyone was out here somewhere. And I told him that I was running into the city with a mass of zombies behind me. And yeah, I was pretty much just looking for people. I didn't know exactly where they'd be, but I was just running through the main part of the city, seeing if I could find someone. And that I do pretty soon. Let's see, where is that building? Ah, it's right here. You can see the dead zombies and you can hear the gunshots. Now, I was kind of lucky Wizturd was in a channel with them. I actually couldn't talk to these people, but he could. He was in a Skype call with me, and he was in TeamSpeak with them, so he could kind of communicate for me. Now, the zombies all get distracted by that group of people who were in the building, and, well, most of them at least, and they all begin just shooting away at the zombies. The weird thing about this building was the glass walls let us in just fine. Like, I could walk right in, no problem. But zombies actually couldn't get in here, so it's actually an ideal position for shooting zombies. And I find these boxes of medical supplies on the ground, and I just raid those. Those were incredible boxes. Like, look at the stuff in here. I could just load up on bandages. Oh, actually, I started getting hit by a zombie. Maybe zombies could get in here, I'm not sure, but I was told they couldn't, and they didn't really get in there for the most part, but maybe it's possible. I have no idea, though. But yeah, luckily Wizturd was there to tell these guys not to shoot me, because if any of you have played DayZ before, you kind of know that if you encounter another survivor out there, you kind of just have to make a judgment call and either kill them or let them go. And if you do let them go, they might kill you. So, you never know. And after looting that place, Wizturd actually met up with us here. He was separated, but he talked to them and found this place. I believe that's him right in front of me. He's one of the people with a black shirt. And we move out. I still don't have a weapon. At this point, I'm just really, really hoping for a weapon. And, yeah, I just follow along. They know what they're doing far better than I do, so I'm kind of just hoping they'll lead me to places with good loot, and they'll also keep me safe. And that they did. We come into a church, wasn't much there, so we head out again. We cross this little field, and head over to this place, which we actually spent a decent amount of time at. This place was pretty cool. I'm so tired right now. It is 5 a.m. and I've been up all night. Yeah, if you didn't know that about me, I stay up horribly, horribly late. Like, I go to sleep when morning starts. Like, when the sun starts coming up, that's pretty much when I fall asleep. And then I wake up at, like, at noon or something and barely get any sleep ever. It's a pretty weird schedule, but I'm used to it. I don't get that much sleep, but that doesn't really bother me. I don't like sleeping that much. In here, there was actually tons of loot. Like, you can look around. None of it was amazing, but I did find a little machine gun here, which was pretty cool. I started carrying that around, and yeah, it was a PDW. And I thought it was so cool just to have a gun, so I just carried it around with me. Even though I had no bullets, I couldn't do anything with it, but it was just for show. Also in here, I found flares, which I was terrible with. I kept getting flares selected in my inventory, and I didn't know how to change that yet, because I was still learning all the controls. As you can see in the top right, I have flares selected, and I'm trying to, like, mess with my gun, and yeah, just keep throwing flares, which keeps happening throughout the episode, I assure you. Every time I hit a wrong button, I start throwing flares. And yeah, that's not exactly the best. But then I find a knife as well, which is pretty cool, and some bullets to stuff that I don't have. But yeah, overall, this building gave me some nice little amounts of stuff. My inventory's getting pretty well stocked, but I assure you it gets much more well stocked a little later in the episode. I like this episode because mostly everything awesome that happened in this gameplay session happens in this episode later on. All of the highlights are basically condensed into this one episode, so it's pretty cool. We've definitely got some highlights coming up here. So yeah, I get that knife all equipped, and I believe pretty soon we should be heading out and getting to the awesome stuff. This probably could have been 2 episodes, but I figured, hey, I'll just cut out a lot of the filler stuff instead of making 2 episodes with a couple cool parts in each. I'll just put most of the awesome parts all together. And now this is where things really start picking up. We run across this field, and I believe that's Wizturd in front of me. I was with him the whole time from here on out, and we encountered other people every once in a while along the way. We were in that big group at first when we met up with them with all the medical supplies in that building, but then people started just leaving and dying and stuff, so just over time we started losing people after this point. I believe we still have mostly everyone here. And yeah, so the 3 of us set up, me with my gun that doesn't work, and I hit the shoot button because I don't know why, but I throw a flare, and zombies love flares. They're really bright, and it attracts all the zombies of this area, so they start charging in. Luckily, the people I'm with happen to have guns, so that works for me. And I'm just walking around with my useless gun, opening doors, throwing more flares because I am very dumb. I just kept throwing flares in here. Wizturd was cracking up because I just kept walking around and throwing flares. That was so dumb. I don't know what happened in between this little amount of time between here and the present time, because I haven't really played since then, but I can look at this and just tell that I'm being really stupid, and I know the controls now. I don't know what happened. There's a little time after this where me and Wizturd go out in the woods by ourselves, and he kind of teaches me a lot of controls and teaches me how to set stuff up in my inventory. I think that's really the most valuable thing I got out of this session. And also just, I learned a lot about just like being with people on the server and just what to expect. Now, out here, I thought this was kind of funny. I saw this zombie crawling towards us, and no one really noticed it. And it just walks right up to this guy and gets back down. No one shoots it. He just keeps crawling over. Then the zombie gets back up and starts attacking that guy. And then he shoots him pretty quick. Yeah, that zombie fell down pretty fast, but I just found that interesting. I don't know what's up with that zombie, like if they just crawl in sometimes, or if he was like hurt, so he started crawling. I have no idea. But yeah, at this point we are running up this hill, just kind of separating ourselves from the city. And a lot of the guys we were with had sniper rifles, so you can see them kind of just like scoping out the area. And this is the part where we actually got word. I think that guy just exited the game actually. And we got word here that there was actually a sniper in the area. Like, most of the people on the server at this point were in TeamSpeak in a group, but the couple of them that weren't were just we were being pretty cautious with. And we knew that there was a sniper in the area. We had heard gunshots. We had seen the guy on the ground because some of our guys had scoped rifles. And so now we are trying to figure out how to approach that situation. We decide to just run down here and check out what's happening. And things get a little dangerous. So yeah, we head on down the hill. I love the running animation when you're running downhill. It's so overly done. It's so cool. I really like this game though. I'm really looking forward to going in and playing this on my own a little bit after this. I haven't played since this gaming session, and I still have my full inventory, and I'm really looking forward to getting out there. And yeah, in the background, did you see off in the distance? You could see a gun going off. You could see a little burst of light. Yeah, we were actually starting to take fire from really far away. And luckily there were a ton of us, and he didn't land any shots. So nothing really bad happened there. But it is kind of scary just having a sniper off in the distance who can end your life at any point. And yeah, I don't think he got any of us, but at this point it was pretty much just me and WizTurd who were left. Almost everyone else kind of just left and got off the server. It was getting really late on the server and in real life. And yeah, you could still hear gunshots. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. There are 3 of us left at this point. And there's a zombie over there. Zombies are the least of our issues at this point. Like, I kind of get it. That's what WizTurd was saying. Like, zombies are kind of an inconvenience. It's the other people that you want to watch out for because they have guns. And that presents quite the problem. And I kind of started to get that at this point. Like, the zombies, they're kind of dumb. They're not that dangerous. All they have is a melee attack. So they inconvenience you, sure, and a big group can do some damage. But check this out. This guy. We saw him run over here, and he wasn't talking to us in TeamSpeak. He wasn't doing anything. So they just opened fire and killed him. I don't know what he was thinking. He just stood over by us, would not communicate, so they just shot him. And check out this inventory. I mean, he has everything. He had a map, binoculars, a tent. He had the Lee Enfield gun, which became my standard gun. These guys were ultra generous. Like, they knew I had been looking for weapons this entire time, and I didn't really have all of that much in my inventory, besides tons of medical equipment. But they let me loot this guy, and I got absolutely everything that was on him. Like, for any of you that have played DayZ before, imagine that you're playing on your first day, well, basically your first day, and you have absolutely nothing. You've never had a gun before. You don't really know anything about the game. And this huge group of players take you in and just show you around electro, and they get a player kill this guy, and he's got just a loaded inventory, and they tell you you can have everything on him. I got absolutely everything. The Lee Enfield and a revolver were now my 2 weapons. And I got quite a bit of ammo with those also. I think I had about 7 clips of Lee Enfield rounds. And so, yeah, that could be up to as many as 70 bullets. So that's pretty awesome. And then the revolver had a good bit as well. So at this point, it is just me and WizTurd. We're talking to another guy on Skype, but it's just us 2 in the game from here on out. And we wanted to make sure we fled the immediate area and just got to a place that was completely safe before we started messing with my inventory. And at this point, WizTurd kind of just tells me how to arrange my guns, how to equip stuff, and how to set up my entire inventory. And this was very helpful. This was one of the most important parts of the day for me. And that really helped. And it was at this point that we also came to learn that the guy we had shot back there in the city was actually a person that they played with and was part of their guild on this server. So that was one of their guys, and I think he was in TeamSpeak with them, and he just didn't say anything. And they just had to open fire. You can't just let a guy that you're not sure about just hang around you. So, yeah. They opened fire, they took him out, and now I have all of his stuff, and it turned out he was one of their friends, and they just didn't know it. But yeah, that's just a fatal mistake by that guy. Nothing you can do about that, really. And I am completely fine with it. So we got up to the top of this mountain, and I got glitched on a rock, and this is the start of a pretty bad series of events for me. I fall down. The rocks are super glitchy. A guy we were in TeamSpeak with informed me to just never jump on rocks and never mess with those. And I am definitely going to take that advice to heart, because that rock messed me up, and I was in shock for a while. Just got me in really bad shape. And now, this is where things get kind of bad. Wizard is telling me that he found a tent, he found a guy near himself, and so I get on edge. I pull my gun out. Like, I know there's a guy in the immediate area, so we're kind of watching out. I just got all this stuff. I don't want to lose it. And so I'm really on the lookout. And so, I'm expecting to see someone up ahead. I finally do see a person in a second. And yeah, you can see a person die there. I look up there, I see a person, I tell Wizard I saw someone, and then I take a bullet and die. And it doesn't take me long to piece together what happens. Wizard says he killed the guy. I just got shot. And I realize quite quickly that Wizard had been on edge because he found a tent, expecting to find someone nearby. And he freaked out, saw me, and just shot me dead. He just murdered me. And so that is a tragic end for my life. Ah, that was so bad. That really, really sucked. But I respawn. Luckily, I spawned right by where I died. I spawned quite close. And unfortunately, I picked up a couple zombies with me right away. But that didn't turn out to be a horrible problem as soon as I got on the mountain. So now my quest is to run up to the top of the mountain and get all my stuff back, if possible. Wizard's waiting up there. He felt bad. He was going to help me get my stuff back, so he's just waiting to show me where my body is. A zombie actually landed a hit there, and so I start trying to just get up the hill as fast as I possibly can. I finally do reach the top, and Wizard had found himself in shock on top of the rock that hurt me earlier. He hurt himself in the exact same way. That rock is dangerous, man. Do not mess with that. And now the guy who just shot me and killed me in cold blood is asking me to give him medical help, and I do. I heal him up, just give him a second to rest, and eventually he does get back up, and he leads me back over to my body right here. So the Lee Enfield is back in my possession, and I pick up all of my stuff shortly after. And so this is where I left off. I'm still right by that mountain. I haven't played since, and I'm really excited to get back there. I logged in for a second earlier just to look around and just to mess with the game. I was gonna play, but then I decided not to. And I was so on edge the whole time. Now that I have all this stuff, like, there's a feeling that you're just about to lose everything at every second. I'm so paranoid right now, but I'm really excited to go play again. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.